Guitar design. What's best? This is the video on electronics. Start with pickups. Honestly, it really depends on the tone you're looking for. Different pickups have different kinds of tones. I've tested most of the different kinds of pickups that are out there. You got a wide variety to choose from. This is not an exhaustive list, and I don't have examples of all, but I have examples of most. Gold foils. Haven't got my hands on a true gold foil yet, but that might be something interesting. Lipstick pickups. First off, let me say that out of everything I've tested, basically everything sounds like a humbucker or a single coil or somewhere in between the two, except for like pizzos, which have no bottom end. Only exception to that might be this, a P90, which I have yet to test. Supposedly it's got a bit more flat or scoop kind of a response curve, more bass and treble and less mid-range perhaps, so I have hopes for that. And the lipstick pickup, I don't have an example anymore. I used to have one, but I messed it up. That's about the only one that I found that has a kind of unique sound. It has an awful lot of upper mid, so it's kind of quacky, you might say. Quacky slash spanky, but quacky sounds a little better than spanky. Assuming quacky means a little lower in the upper mids than spanky, which might be a little higher in the upper mids. It's strange the way these words can almost be translated to bands on an EQ. But anyway, yeah, so you got a lot of different kinds of pickups to choose from. You've got active pickups like this kind of a thing here, MG81X on the SPL-TD M2. You've got hot rails. That's a set of hot rails. These guys here are going into the Strat build. Where'd the Strat go? Someplace around here there's a Strat build. Don't see it offhand. Oh wait, there it is down there. This thing. They're going to be going into this thing. I'm putting full whammy on this. And let's see what else you got to choose from. You got P90s. Like I said, I still have to test those out. You got quad rails, which is basically two hot rails put together in a humbucker footprint. You got bar pizzos, not a lot of bottom end. Nice hidden way to install the pickup though. If you look at this thing, that's a bar piezo underneath there, and that's the only pickup on this guitar. Gives it a very, very clean look. So, let's see what else you got to choose from. Acoustic microphones. Yeah, this is a typical acoustic guitar type pickup setup. Your battery box and your plugs, and it's got both the microphone and the bar piezo. And then you've also got humbuckers, of course. There's a humbucker, and single coils and disc piezos. This one here is for like a cigar box guitar kit thing. And that's not an exhaustive list. You know, you've also got things like mini humbuckers, which I've heard are more or less the same sound. So, but yeah, when it comes to pickups, it really depends on. It's a matter of personal preference. You know, if you're doing a shredder, then you're probably going to want something like that. And if you're doing a jazz thing, you're going to want something more along this kind of a line that you see here. So, yeah, it's all up to you. As far as, like, let's see what else we got here. So that's a long short on pickups. Yeah, there really is no best option. I can tell you right now that you can't get all the tones possible, all the famous tones possible out of a single guitar. no matter what combo of pickups you use. Basically, it boils down to that right there versus that kind of a thing. Haven't figured out how to put those two together yet. Okay, now, as far as like choosing which one's best, it depends on what you're doing. Like I said, you know, if you're shredding, you're going to be wanting to go active possibly. As far as overall value goes and sound and everything, humbucking is probably going to be preferred to single coil as far as like no noise goes. But then again, you also have a difference in tone, but you can make up for that with an equalizer. Like I said, I have yet to check the P90s out. They might have something superior going on. But barring that, I think these guys don't have a whole lot of bass here, so I think that I'd probably have to give the nod to this guy here. These are they're hot. They're not active, so they're not high maintenance. No battery like this thing or this thing. They're easier to wire because they don't have a battery, once again, like these guys do. They are humbucking. And, yeah, so, and that's pretty much covers it. As far as, like, you know, all other things being equal. If you want a great value in a pickup, this probably is going to get you the most bang for the buck. You'll get your noise cancellation, it'll be easy to install, you don't have to use batteries, and it'll be real hot. I mean, I can get these things, I've bought some actually online that are as hot as like 18, 19K. So these are pretty hot pickups. I don't know what this one's rated at offhand. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, like I said, P90s might have something interesting going on. Still got to wait and test it. 1 versus 2 pickups. Okay, here's a good one for you. There's an example of a 1 pickup shredder with an EMG. Here's another example of a 1 pickup shredder with an EMG. But you'll see a lot of my like experimental builds. In fact, almost all of them are 1 pickup guitars. Versus like your standard stuff, which is 2 or 3 pickups. You may or may not have heard of the infamous magnetic drag from the neck pickup issue. And yes, magnetic drag is a real thing, and it's only about 3% loss of sustain. So, you know, if you had a guitar that would normally sustain for, I don't know, I haven't done the math. I think it works out to 31 second sustain gets cut to a 30-second sustain, or a 33-second sustain gets cut to a 30-second sustain, or something like that. It's not a lot. Yeah, so, I mean, it's like, who's going to ring out a note for 30 seconds anyway? I mean, I can't think of a piece in any song that has a single note ring out for 30 seconds. I mean, if you want to do that, get an EBO or a Susaniac or something. So, yeah. Well, you know, if you're not going to use the pickup, then sure, lose it. You know, why complicate things? Why get that 3% loss of sustain? But if you're going to use it, or you want multiple tones, greater versatility, that kind of thing, then don't worry about it, because it's only 3%. Be right back after a little intermission.